Alrighty guys, welcome back. Hopefully that has sorted itself out and will be a bit smoother. Not entirely sure if I'll fix everything. Let me know in the chat if things are looking really ugly. But First Blood did go NoT.ToDay's way. It looks like they're ready to get back underway. And Cloud9 are giving up an early First Blood. Top room was not MSS's friend. He was a bit too close, and the Ice Shards block on the higher ground take him out. So it will be a dual lane for both teams in the offlane. We've got DDX and GoDz coming down bottom. We'll see MSS joined up top by the Nightstalker, and definitely expecting 1437 to probably look to roam off this lane fairly early on. Not really a situation where he wants to be just leeching the Darkseer's experience too much. Darkseer will be able to get some decent early game farm here though with the Nightstalker's help, because it looks like, at least for now, Tusk stacking the jungle. We're going to help create some farm for Quap/Ember to get later on. And we will see what comes next. As far as these two teams are concerned, it's going to be SVG jungling it up. And as I say jungling, just going for a little double pull. DDX coming in to contest it and just leech the experience, trying to make sure some of these last hits don't get denied by neutrals. SVG himself. The worst case scenario is actually the neutrals. What a lot of people may not realize is when those neutrals get the last hits, you get 0 XP. If the Venom denies them, you're at least getting some of the experience. Looks like the sentry placed on the high ground there. Not going to successfully catch MSS's ward, which was placed further up. Blink up, high ground. Ewo just wants out of this Iron Shell action. So Brax on mid, 15-7. Oh my gosh, look at these last hits. 15 last hits. I think he's missed 1 CS so far. Ember, meanwhile, struggling. Had 3 CS, now gets up to 4 with that last under tower. Oh boy, is Brax dominating this mid lane. The bottle comes out. Now, did go for a Wraith Band first to help him out in this lane, but he has absolutely crushed this lane. And we'll see if there's any help coming his way. Veno now pressuring mid as well, has a double damage ring. Gale at the ready. Got to be a bit careful here. SVG looking for that Gale, just going to throw out a DD strike. Gets a couple right clicks off. Now the Gale. No snowball, he's gone for the Ice Shards level 1 and he's not level 2 yet, just barely managed to get it. The snowball won't come out, he even uses his mango. Oh no, SVG. Brax saves his life by taking the creep wave. What a good buddy. Helps him out, and Brax will continue his destruction over this mid lane, getting a kill now to add to his CS. Elsewhere at top, Ewo put under a lot of pressure on his tower. 1437 just going to come in, force another blink. TP coming up, but that's not really going to scare off 1437, I don't feel. And Ewo's got no blink. The Ice Shell's there. The surge forward. Ooh, blocked by a nice Ice Shards. NoT.ToDAY salvage that, and they may look for more. They've got a snowball forward if they want to get aggressive. It's going to be Ewo still in trouble. He gets a scream out. MSS, though. Salve up, takes a tower hit. That'll cancel it. Another Void comes out, so they at least get the Quap. 1437, you got to be careful. Back off, my friend. Has a few tangos. Ice Shards at the ready, but just level 1. Doesn't look like he's going to go for that kill. Meanwhile, mid, they've gone in on Schofield. Meld, one more right click. SVG's rotated once again. Found another kill. Gets a D-ward off as well onto the high ground. Oh boy. C9 may have given up an early First Blood, but that did not matter one bit at all. Ember had bounty ring First Blood and is getting destroyed by Brax at mid. I'll have to see what the kind of, I don't want to say comeback, but what kind of adjustments you make if you're NoT.ToDAY to kind of either shore up the mid lane for the Ember or the safe lane for the Quap. The two core heroes who are most important to your draft are getting heavily pressured. The Ember and Quap both having a rough start. And there hasn't really been any damage done to Rizzo's Necrophos. He's had a fine time at bottom lane. This is going to be nice rotation. GoDz TP's in, turns around the gank. They get both Brax and 1437. Great TP from GoDz. If you weren't a fan of Soin, you're a fan of him now, I gotta say. That was great news for NoT.ToDAY. Kind of what they needed as well. Gets Ember back in the game. Doesn't get him a whole lot of CS, but the 2 kills kind of making up for the lack of CS. And GoDz can now take over this mid lane, get a few levels, get a few last hits, build towards a Soul Ring, some Arcane Boots, whatever he may want. Ewo. He's got to be careful, has that blink out with a wand, but all it takes is a silence and he's dead. Although, I say that, there's no fear coming out from the Night Stalker. It's maybe just the threat of a silence, which you're not really sure if he has, that can be the problem. As he were getting pressured once more. There's going to be a blink out. He's just got the level 1 blink still, but... Actually, no, they're about to say they actually saw him there. Ewo, 8 seconds, still has no blink, and they're going to get a kill here. No TP this time. Bottom lane, meanwhile, snowball in. They've gone on Ritsu. Is there a TP rotation? Looks like C9 not going to be able to get anything out of this one. No turnaround for the Necrophos. Tried to Reaper down the Jakira. Need another Death Pulse at least to get that, and I don't even think with the Death Pulse it would have been enough. Just level 2. It's very unusual build coming out from Necrophos. 2 in Death Pulse, 2 in Heartstopper, and the 1 point in Sadist at level 6. Heartstopper, great for like the harass and the laning stage, but not exactly going to help you in a situation like we just saw. That's where you'd much rather have at least the 3rd point in Death Pulse. Normally you'd just see the 1 point in Heartstopper. Oh, SVG could be in some trouble. The snowball coming in. Schofield going to lead the way, and SVG is going to just look for the neutral deny. Omni says, I don't think so, mate. Last hits it with the purification. Did scout out these stacks, but scouting out some stacks is not going to mean they can definitely contest them. And if anything, NoT.TodaY may look to farm it sooner rather than later now that they've been scouted. 6 kills to 4. It is going to be NoT.TodaY with the kill advantage, but you quickly see net worth wise they are getting out farmed. All 3 C9 lanes have kind of in some ways come out on top. The Ember at least managing to salvage the mid lane with those 2 kills, but still getting out farmed and beat down by the TA. Brax has treads now to go with his magic wand, and I think it was just more a lesson for C9. Okay, let's not dive the tower, we're not that far ahead. And Omni Knight TPing in is very problematic. A great hero to kind of combo with an Ember Spirit. Farm up this stack right now, using the Sigil even to help them. Early point in that for Angel. I kind of like this deviation in the build you sometimes see, just going for no points in Sigil till like level 8 perhaps. You want to have 4 shards, 2 snowball, and then the ulti at level 7, but getting this early Sigil point does help with the neutrals there, just blocking a lot of their damage output since they have not very low attack speed to begin with, so we'll see what the next move will be. SVG is playing that 5 position Venomancer. You can see him suffering as far as farm goes, and something he probably won't see adjusted for some time. He'll definitely want to go back for a minus at some point. If not a minus, at least be given a lane to get some farm so he can get up either utility items or build towards the Ag Scepter. Doesn't have to be an Ag Scepter. Items like Force Staff can also help out a lot against a lineup like NoT.ToDAY's. Level 6 Omni Knight early on, so handy to get all these early levels. Definitely the weak point of the Omni pick is always the lane stage. TP in mid. Looks like just coming to protect Schofield, who took a big meld strike. And they're also theoretically looking for a TA kill here, but it was scouted out by the trap on the high ground, and TA will just go back, stack some Ancients, and head back towards the mid lane. It's Midas o'clock. Darkseid gets 1 and immediately uses on a big creep here. Could become a game of Midases very quickly with the Night Stalker, even a Venomancer, potentially Midas heroes as well. Here's a support Venomancer who's now going to start looking to jungle up this big camp. Elsewhere you've got Ritsu in the jungle, so this is something kind of talk about. See, I love to do this where Ritsu will rotate in the jungle and you give 1437 a lane to farm. He takes over the solo XP and gets some farm here, especially during daytime, so this will probably last until about the 12-minute mark. Unless Ritsu really feels he's not getting enough farm in lane, but also similarly 1437 may just get harassed out of this lane, so it may just become unmanageable for him. Decent farm on the offlane Jakira. That's probably one of the more successful lanes as far as NoT.ToDAY are concerned. Looking for a fast Tranquil's mech. Just 300 gold away from the mech. Just no pressure going Jakira's way, but I think for C9 it's for the better. They've found kills on the Quap and the Ember instead, and happy to give at least NoT.ToDAY for now a decent mech timing as a result, because they haven't been able to pressure and secure this bottom lane as much as they have the other lane. Towards mid, it's going to be Brax. Oh, he got Sonic Wave. He's going to TP out. Oh, dear. That's a big commitment. That's a 2-minute cooldown now. There's going to be a 5-minute forward. Schofield wants in. Sees Brax. The nighttime comes out. The Gale going to be off the mark because of the sleight of fist dodge. Oh, the ice shots work against him. What a disaster. There's a Reaper now. Are they going to go for it? Not quite enough damage yet. Death Pulse will follow him down. Nope, not going to get the kill. Flame Guard, I believe, protecting him from that one with the Reaper damage being largely blocked. Needed a few more right clicks, it seems. Not just the Reaper. Very close to getting killed there. Neither team end up losing anyone. Angel, his Ice Shards, up until then, had been very good this game. That one there working against the Ember, who otherwise should have been able to kill the Night Stalker. There were 2 points in Hunter of the Night, so he did have a lot of movement speed going his way. We'll see NoT.TodaY continue their pressure at bottom. This did free up more space for Jakiro to farm and pressure this bottom tower, level 8. We'll see this max liquid fire now come out on the tier 1 bottom. C9 need heroes down there pronto, or we'll be looking at an early tier 1. That's it. Curious to see what build we're going to have out of a Necrophos. Is a point booster. Felt like an okay game to get something like an Atos, but I guess, oh, not that great. I guess Quap and Ember both have mobility spells which can kind of bypass the movement speed slow. Ember with Fire Remnants. If he's already got one up, you can't really push out a Fire Remnant while you're Atos. Quap is Blink. Tusk has the Snowball mobility, and Omni, well, he's not really worried about getting slowed. He's at the back lines. Jakiro, I guess, tanky as well. So maybe not a great Atos game by any means, but always a nice item for Necro just because it gives you HP and mana intel. So 2 things the hero benefits a lot from. Point Booster, similarly though, does the same thing and can build into more useful items for this game, be it Octarine Core or Fast Ags. We'll have to wait and see what exactly he has in mind with the Point Booster. Sometimes even you see a casual Point Booster, then you go for something else and come back and get the Ags later. SVG now going to be juggling up this Ancient Camp with Brax as the reconnect comes in from Omni Knight, so Brax first Mithril Hammer online. I'd say first, very rarely would you see a TA go for a BKB rush, especially after the start Brax has had. Definitely a game to be pulling out the fast Deso. Better at pushing towers, finding kills, taking Roche, whatever it may be, and Necrophos denies the bottom tier 1. I mean, that tower was full HP just a minute ago, and all it takes is a few liquid fires and suddenly it gets down to deny range. Not really in a position to defend it as C9 were elsewhere on the map. Brax farming Ancients, Darkseid with a Midas isn't really in fighting shape. Will be good to go soon. And as a result of the Midas, he's much higher level than he otherwise would be. I like the Midas pickup, it just delays C9's timing by a bit, where that T1 tower just had to be dropped. They couldn't really contest it as a result. Oh, they've seen 1437 here, this ward. Not a ward you'd expect for the Dire side, and as a result, 1437 may get caught out here. Snowball will catch him. Walrus Punch, Queen of Pain blinking, and that's, well, a kill. He pings it out, he's like, what the hell? There's a Dire ward on this hill. Who does that? Very rare spot for a Dire team to have a ward at this early on in the game. You sometimes put it up here once you've lost your tier 1 mid, your tier 1 bottom, but putting it up there this early, it works out great for them. It's just why it caught 1437 by surprise, because that is not a common ward spot. He thought he could just swoop on through, plan it, and get out. And a great ward for Radiant, because it helps you push the bottom tier 1, helps you kind of contest the Ancients. Problem is now Dire team know that he just planted that ward as well. It did get pinged out. Definitely likely we'll see a sentry purchase just for the D ward there. Although both melee supports not really ideal for the task. .37 smoked up, looking to roam into the jungle. He's actually going to swing back mid lane. DDX on the Jakiro. Has a mech. He's tanky. Could turn this one around. The Macropie's there. Reaper kill. Not going to be enough. It's 1437 now. Getting snowballed. Push back. Great Ice Shards on 2. Sonic Wave gets a double. And Omni Knight actually securing the kill. I'm guessing, yeah, Purification double kill. Goody. Now 3-0. NoT.TodaY are finding the kills. They're making some great counterplays. Their teamwork's been on point. It's just been an issue of the farm. Darkseer with a Midas, free farming away. TA with Ancient Stacks, free farming away. And Necrophos, not really free farming so much, but at least decent farm on him. He's out farming any of these die heroes despite having a 0-1-0 score. That's really, to me, the big picture right now. Cloud9 in control of this game despite getting killed a few times and despite getting a bit too aggressive and getting punished for it. Demon will find his way away from that Ice Shards. It looks like things should kind of piece together from here for Cloud9 when they get the mech on the Darkseer as the kind of key item for me. Didn't even bring in Darkseer towards that mid fight, which turned into like a 5-man NoT.TodaY rotation. Everyone there except the Ember, who has Boots of Travel now, so he can rock up to these fights. It looks like he was trying to put down a ward in this Radiant jungle. Either someone to kind of scout out the big camp, or even further closer to the tier 2 tower. 37, nice little Ice Shards block. Keeps him in place, but I'm sure Angel's asking, where's the actual backup here? This Melt Strike could do a lot of damage. There's a Desert. Oh, the Sigil saves his life. That Sigil. I'm like, okay, Brax needs another right click, he'll get it, but the Sigil actually saved that one. Prevented Brax getting a second attack off. Gonna be the tier 1 tower at mid where they next look to pressure. C9, for now, probably content with the pace of this game. Even the few kills they're giving up have not been decisive ones that have really led to anything. We haven't seen NoT.TodaY take more than the tier 1 bottom tower, which C9 traded for previously for the top tower and also just for farm on their cores. The tier 1 mid is kind of the first big objective for them. I know NoT.TodaY are going to be concerned about the TA Roche factor. They put an okay Roche lineup themselves with the Liquid Fire, but the actual damage output from the rest of the heroes not exactly great for bringing Roche down. Physical damage, not something they'll have until much later on when Ember starts picking up items. They smoke up. They are headed top, and it's like 1437 and Ritsu are going to be the ones they want to go in, and they'll catch out Ritsu. Fire Remnant in, then there's going to be a snowball as well. 1437, you got to get out, my friend. Operation Ditch the Necrophos. It will be a dead Necro scouted out, brought down, and C9, it does add up slowly, these skills, and that's where Ember's kind of catching up. Quap is still in the vicinity of these Radiant cores, but here we go. Brax finds a GD, he sees 4 or 5 heroes top, he's like, okay, that Q Roshan. Grab an Aegis for myself, and takes it and will immediately TP home. It looks like, that to me suggests he wants to gear up to defend top, although the tier 1 will die too fast for him to be able to do anything. Surprised to see him not go for the bottom tier 1. I guess Ember was there, and there were many of heroes who could actually TP and defend that one. So C9 just sticking to the game plan of farming. Darkseer, the top net worth hero right now, with mech up level 11 as well. I believe highest level in the game. Actually TA, with the solo Roshan, manages to just surpass him at level 12. And they're not stopping the tier 1, they want the tier 2 as well. At some point C9 have to say enough is enough. Let's defend some towers. NoT.ToDAY's lineup geared for taking towers and fighting right now, with the Jakiro having a mech and max ice and max liquid fire. And also just, this is the time where Ember can really be strong. 37 gets a bit close, reveals, I believe, the makings of a smoke gang. They don't go on him, although maybe could have, considering Darkness was on cooldown. This time around they will blink Shadow Strike, just a bit of casual poke and harass. Trying to pressure him out of this lane so they can swing bottom or even into the jungle to get down some wards. And Schofield on the Ember, who's now got a Perseverance, and actually just 1300 gold away from the battle period. A few more towers and he'll be there. This has really been where the tower money has turned around the fact that NoT.ToDAY didn't have all too great a farm. C9 are just looking to prioritize efficiency, farming jungle and elsewhere. Whoa, Quap, that's not the blink. Not the blink you wanted. Brax is looking for this one. One more right click. Ewo successfully baited him in though. Managed to barely juke it out. Oh. They're pinging the spot. He went for the TP. He could have actually gone. The Searing Chains were on cooldown. How patient will they be? Sentries coming out, and I believe they can get this kill. They know Brax. If Brax looked to TP, they didn't see him. He went invis before they came high ground. And they didn't see the TP. They're going to plant these sentries, and it looks like Brax, yeah, he sees it. He goes in on the Omni Knight. No GA available. That's a lot of damage output coming from the TA. This could be an Aegis as well, but here comes C9. They've all rotated here. They're ready to back Brax up. Can they actually get in on this one? Poison Nova at the ready. Brax needs to refract again. It's still on cooldown. Sonic Wave will bring him down. Now the fight will unravel as Necrophor's trapped inside an Ice Shard. He has gone back to the Atos. And we'll see if they can chase down, get some more. Wall is nice with the Poison Nova. The snowball goes forward. Going to pause punch up in the air. Ritsu's got a Reaper though. Uses it on the Tusk. Doesn't get the kill out of it. They only barely get him down in the end. As the Reaper did not get the kill. And they're losing heroes one by one here. Ember. Remnant forward. Not sure if that's the direction you want to go. Necro brings him down. Oh no. It's all started so well and ended so poorly for NoT.TodaY. A 2 for 2, but it's only getting worse as Ritsu Necro cleans up. Diving deep was, what, 1437, trying to bring down Omni? Looks like the Queen of Pain salvaged that one, and Goody. Not going to be able to stick around too much longer. He is very low on HP. Necro wants the tier 1 and could get it if not for the fact Tusk was about to respawn. Very scrappy fight, if not for the fact that they killed the T8 twice before the fight even really begins. NoT.TodaY would have probably found themselves getting beat down worse than they did. And instead, it was, what, even 3 for 3 fight. C9 gonna now pick up Blink Dagger for Darkseer, who's after that hit level 14. Him, Ritsu, top levels in the game. MSS has so far been very solid on the Darkseer. And well, I told you it's Midas gaming time. We've got 2 Midases, and we're looking at a third as Nightstalker picks up a Gloves of Haste. Veno and Darkseer, not enough. They say, we need more Midases. And it definitely fits with the playstyle. It's been a game of farm for them from ever since the lane stage broke up. They've just been going for farm, while NoT.TodaY has been grouping up a bit more, taking towers with the Jakiro. Different way of playing from C9. And the kind of way we're used to seeing them play is slightly more greedy and farm focused, especially with their supports. They start off helping out the lanes, but once they get the space to get some farm, very much it's a team that likes to kind of split the wealth, not just between their cores, but also towards the supports. For now, though, this is the catch-up period for them, where they had that slow start and are looking to get some of it back. Queen of Pain has picked up a Linken's now. Saw the ulti orb and Voidstone, was thinking we'll in for a Linken's Hex Rush. Let's see how this Linken's works out. It's going to stop some of the pesky Nightstalker spells, but you Void and then you've got a Silence. It does mean you haven't got the nuke damage when the Silence comes out. Similarly, you can block a Reaper, but Atos, this is like the dream item to cancel it, because I just don't feel like this was a Linken's game for Queen of Pain. Atos, possibly the best Linken's break in the game, as far as items go, and even as far as non-items go. It's one of the best ways of breaking a Linken's. It's got huge cast range. Oh. Cliff Ward coming up along the side here. Will NoT.TodaY try and fight this one? Doesn't look like it. They TP out the Queen of Pain towards bottom. Brax will look to meet her down there as a Blink Dagger. It's going to pop a Refraction for now. Likely just to try and force a Blink escape from Ewo. Oh, Trap will slow. He's going to... Oh, he's catches him with the Blink. Great play from Brax. He's got a DD. He's going to get the kill. Oh, man. Queen of Pain just getting outplayed by Brax. And it's not been Ewo's game. Managed to get the kill earlier at bottom when Brax went in, but this time around it goes the other way. Brax with a DD, not really something you want to fight. Or they snowball in scope, but I don't really know if this is actually going to work out too well for them. Ember takes a nail and he gets 3-shotted. Where's the sigil? You need the sigil to fight Brax. Now it comes out. Brax has another refraction in a second. He's going to go back in. The vacuum's there, and Brax has got a 3rd. He's looking for a 4th. He's going to do it. Double kill for Brax. I'm pretty sure all 4 of those should have been credited to him. They all died in the bottom lane, and they all died because of Brax. Absolute beast mode on the TA. They even maxed the sigil earlier. Completely different build from Tusk. But you got to use it. He didn't use it until, well, 2 already had. The Quap got ganked. Could have used it to help the Ember out. And only used it when he was already down to half HP. Brax just 1v4'd, it felt like. MSS rocked up to kind of help him out towards the end, but he killed the first 2 on his own. He was killing Tusk on his own. MSS's vacuum just gave him that little bit of peace of mind. Not to mention the heals that he can provide. And now they're going to take a tier 1 and move on to the tier 2 tower. TP coming in from Schofield. Looks like they do want to defend this one. And C9 going to say, it's time to back off. We've got 3 Midases. We're in no rush to end this game. 7 to 8k gold lead, and that's with the Midases, so it's not really C9's strongest time to be fighting when you've got a triple Midas. Although Brax seems to prove and suggest otherwise. And I think that's the, Octarine Call coming out now for Necrophos, so puts all his spells on much shorter cooldown. The Death Pulse now down to 3.75. The Atos with a 7.5 second cooldown. That's always something you have to take into consideration with the Octarine, is that it does affect the blink, blink, it affects the blink, it affects your items as well. Blink Dagger may be a possibility as the next time. Ritsu scouts out the smoke gank. He's tanky with his Octarine Call. Any TP could keep him alive. He actually gets out of the ice path as well. He turns around, throws an Atos, now gets snowballed. Still very healthy, even with a Sonic Wave. He's still sitting on a 3rd HP. The vacuum is there with a wall. They're going to turn this one around. Tusk dead for 75. Venno drops a poison over the TP out. Trying to save his own life. Just barely get the kill. C9. Get 2 for nothing. All off the Necro having picked up an Octarine Call. He was so tanky. I believe they scout out the smoke. Actually, no. This ward doesn't see past the trees. I don't know if this smoke was scouted out by NoT.TodaY. And C9 are headed, it looks like straight to Roche. Wow, another DD. As if Brax hasn't had enough. The Braxton Ruin, apparently. You have the S4 haste, the Braxton DD, with how much this guy plays TA. He just knows he's going to get these DDs, it seems. Let's see, don't tell me TA is going to like be there waiting with a blink. TA's like, nah, I'll get Roach. Let's focus on objectives. Passes this bottle over to Theban. He'll pick up the Aegis for himself. 4k gold now on TA. I'm sure after some of the plays he's been making, he's like, I just want a Daedalus. Let's make some more flashy plays. Let's one-shot a few more heroes. Safer option may be the BKB, but the more flashy one, the Daedalus. And when I say flashy, it's not bad. It's definitely a viable choice here over BKB. And BKB will help out against the Yule's Ice Path and just the Jakira in general. There's a lot of spells that the BKB does help against. You look at the Quap with pesky Shadow Strike, Screams, Tusk, Snowball, Ice Shards, and all that, but by no means is the BKB like the item he should be getting. I think there's arguments for both BKB and a damage item of sorts. Going out bottom. Walks into a trap, in fact. Be a little bit careful here as he blinks backwards. Pop the nighttime. Ritsu looking to maybe engage here. We've seen how tanky he is already. Reaper's there. One more right click. It comes too late. Oh no, Necro gets the kill. Okay, 74 seconds. It came just in time. Goody now. No GA for him. He's being chased down by Brax. We'll keep an eye on the main fight here. It's going to be NoT.TodaY losing another in the form of the Tusk. I believe, yep, Omni did end up going down to Brax. Schofield trying to find himself out there. Has a remnant to escape. They lost the Venomancer. He didn't even get off the poison over before he died. It looks like Ewo. Oh, the vacuum caught out the Ember as well on the high ground. Ewo and Schofield narrowly escape a next blink as well as another fire run. It will be there. Ooh, earn damage. He's going to tick, 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 and he's down. Schofield has a TP in a few seconds here. He's got one more remnant. He may go back to the low ground. He's been found. Sleight of Fist. Silence. He's dead. Team wiped. Only a Venomancer. 1 for 5. C9. Destroy Not today, and there we go. It's a Daedalus. I like what I'm seeing. Level 18 now. Brax is just out of control. And this is the stage where even the supports are starting to have some fun. Venno up to 7k net worth. With the Midas pickup, he's very close to an Ag Scepter. Night Stalker, not quite, yeah, similarly close actually. He has 1300 gold with the point booster. And now some tower money is going to go their way, so we'll see support Ag Scepters coming out in no time at all. If C9 going to keep control of this game, which don't see any reason why that won't be the case. Lotus Orb pickup for Ritsu on the Necrophos. So looking at what this can do here, can purge off the Searing Chains, the Shadow Strike, I guess, and more. And always got to kind of look at some of the spells you can reflect. If you're worried about a Jakiro initiating on you with the Yules, you can echo the Yules. I'll have to see how if this is going to be a high impact item or not. It's good stats for him regardless. The armor always nice as well. Some games are just like, what item can I get that just gives me some armor? And Lotus Orb is one of the kind of cheaper options compared to something like a Shivers. Maybe just kind of experimenting with still a new item. You get a lead like this, you're like, let's try out Lotus Orb. Let's see how this works on Necrophos. Or just in general, since it is such an item that hasn't been fully explored. I mean, you think about how long Dota's been played and how long it's been around, and new things being discovered continuously with items and heroes that have been there since day one almost. And an item that's been in the game for like 3 or 4 months, there's surely stuff people are going to keep figuring out about Lotus Orb. So we'll see. Ritsu go a little bit of a different direction, and for now, C9 still have an Aegis. We'll have to see if they try and take any key objectives with this. They've got only 1 minute left, so likely no more than maybe some of these outer towers like we're seeing here at mid as well as bottom, still with tier 2 standing. Another reason not to get Shivers is that's likely the Darkseer pickup has a Mystic Staff. I guess can just as likely go for a Scythe of Vice. The Hex going to, maybe even more likely go for the Scythe of Vice. Hex great against Ember as well as Squall. There we go, the Tusk did get brought down. Searing Chain's not going to do a whole lot to C9. And the other thing to keep in mind with the Lotus Orb, it's another item which benefits from the Octarine Core. So we're seeing a shorter cooldown on this, it means more uptime. Curious to see how it does. Split push in bottom lane, that's a bit pesky. Darkseer goes back to defend. They're pushing high ground though without him. They say, Darkseer mate, you go defend. We'll take the base. So be a little bit careful about how they play this. Brax's Aegis will be expiring fairly soon. The Lotus Orb even comes out. I believe it gets rid of Liquid Fire. You can repel it off. Not 100% sure on that one. But it makes sense that you should be able to. Whether or not it's like whether you need like a hard dispel or soft dispel or whatever it may be. There's all kinds of weird mechanic rules around dispels. I'm not sure exactly how the Liquid Fire works, but definitely good against the Searing Chains as well as Shadow Strike. So here we go, Smoke O'Clock, and they want the TA. They know the age is expiring. There's going to be a snowball in. Blink does just manage to make it out. Now Night Stalker pops the ultimate. The dust clips Brax, but he may just turn around and fight at this stage. Decides, I'm not quite manly enough to do that one. Or not quite strong enough. Still has some room to grow, and there we go. You can see the Lotus Orb in action. Schofield, Battle Fury, Yasha so far. We'll be looking for a Manta, it seems. One way of getting out of the Night Stalker's silence. That's the kind of most annoying spell for him to want to Manta off. And here come the Ag Scepters. This is where C9 suddenly kind of reached one of their peaks. They've hit the power curve and they're going to hit it running right now. They've got map control, they can control the vision game. One thing they probably want to do is pick up a gem, which they may wait for. Also, the next night. It's going to be another 2 minutes before it's nighttime again. By then, they should have a gem. So around 36 minutes, they'll have the vision control. They'll have double Ags. Maybe even a third Ags with the Necrophos working on his. Although he's still got a few pieces to go. I think they'll look to take control of this game. Brax up to 3.9k. Could be eyeing off another Roshan before they go for a high ground defense, but definitely before Rosh. I think we can see them play the map control game. Oh, another DD. Being pinged out. They're like, hey Brax, dude. You haven't had enough DDs? Here's another one. If you're not today and you see that, you're like, let's burn that as quickly as possible. And C9 happy to just continue to slow roll things. Very disciplined play coming from them. It's organized, it's disciplined, and it's very efficient. They've been out farming their opponents from start to finish. Not saying where they gave up a few early game kills, even maybe died on the tower, but they had such a cushion with their farm lead and were just so much better in the laning stage, winning all 3 lanes, that it didn't really matter too much. And the Ember really got punished for going mid. Brax in the front lines. Yeah, okay. I guess you can echo the Searing Chains as well, not just dispel it if he Searing Chains. I'm not entirely sure, and I guess if he's in Sleight of Fist you shouldn't be able to because he's invulnerable. So maybe only if he's using the Searing Chains normally. Blinking from Brax, looking for the one-shot. With a Daedalus crit, I could see it happening. Or at least it being very close. Use that Night Stalker gem. There we go, it's up now. Didn't scout this ward just yet. We'll do so soon. There we go. Finds it and we'll take it out. Bottom lane Ewo again going for some split push play. He's gone for a very defensive build. The BKB and the Lincolns. Still not a big fan of this Lincolns pickup considering the fast Atos we see coming out. Oh, Brax gets the crit he was looking for. One Meld Strike followed up by a Daedalus crit, and that's an Omni down with no buyback. No GA for this defense. That's a big loss in fact. Bob says, I don't want anything to do with this. Schofield brings out the mantle, though I believe he got the uphill evasion against Brax there already. Another Meld Strike, you've got to be careful. The Reaper's there, he's going to survive it. Brax's damage, not quite what I thought it would be on the Ember. The Manta start giving some extra armor. Brax in the front lanes doesn't have Aegis, he's got to be careful. Whoopsie daisy. MSS, not quite on point with the heal, and it's a little bit too late there. So TA goes down, and C9 give NoT.TodaY some breathing room to get some farm, get some items up, push their lanes out. The Ember high ground defense always annoying, and Schofield. One league in the chat. And they're capping Roshan. Oh boy. That could be a big loss for C9. They definitely want to be scanning this one. I believe they'll bring in the Night Stalker. I don't know for sure when it's coming up. Actually, they do. They've got the trap, so Dire Side are the ones who don't have the vision and the knowledge. DC from Brax. Although he's dead with that buyback, so 40 seconds on the sidelines. I shall quickly reconnect. Oh. Shout out to Kataro. Got the enemy boys in action. SVG. Being snowballed. They see him. Looks like they may get the kill here. The Poison Nova will do a lot of damage here. This is an Accept upgrade. 1437. Loses some of his armor to the Solar Crest, and the block is there for the Ice Shard. Ritsu from the high ground gets off a Reaper. Gets the kill. Vacuum Wall now comes out. And that's going to be DDX and Goody in trouble. The Poison Nova with the Necrophos just destroying them. Who needs TA, they say. We've got an Ags Veno, as well as a Night Stalker. Not to mention, more importantly, the Necrophos. The Atos will break the Lincolns from the high ground. Comes Schofield. Looks like they'll have nothing to stop his TP, but Templar Assassin respawning and Roshan is up. So C9 can look to take Aegis, take Cheese now. So Ember and Quap did not die during that fight. It was just the 3 quote-unquote supports. I say supports because it feels that way when they're all sitting down below this 10k net worth mark. Meanwhile, on the C9 side, you're looking at 3 very rich cores, and even their supports close to 10k net worth, or at least approaching that mark. Kind of on the similar plane as the Jakiro. God, MSS is rich as well. This has been just a story of greed from C9. When you've got a Darkseer with 20k net worth, 38 minutes in the game. They just know they're just farming so much better than their opponents, and probably Sheepstick going to be the best item choice for Darkseer here. Will help just a lot against both Quap and Ember, even with Quap having a Linken's. Ember himself, Ultimate all picked up, maybe thinking he wants a Linken's to go with the Manta style, but it's another defensive item, which means that high ground defense without a Daedalus will start to whittle away. Daxi is still holding on to his money, hasn't committed to anything just yet. To Roche we go. Nice shots come out. We'll actually block them somewhat inside. See this one more here. Brax not going to be able to kill it off. They're so confident they can go for this. They've just done this in plain vision of the NoT.TodaY heroes, but NoT.TodaY, what can they do to contest this one? They're all TPing down here. They really want to. 1437 will give them the vision advantage, though, and fighting into a Poison Nova at the pit does not seem like it's going to be a good idea. Plague Ward's helping take out the Sigil, which means without Sigil, this defense gets a whole lot trickier. 1437 still just kind of around the side. They say, screw Rose, let's go for the kills. Ritsu wants in. And they chase him down. It's going to be Angel getting Reaped, and that's an 86-second respawn timer. The Ag Scepter now picked up for Ritsu, and it looks like they're going to chase down a few more if NoT.TodaY aren't careful. Brax takes a lot of damage, gets the BKB off. One Meld Strike, one right click, that's a kill into the Omni. Next up is DDX, and DDX dead as well. Double kill for Brax. Schofield needs a Remnant out, does have it. That's the freshly purchased Linken's, helping him a little bit there. Quap just said, I'm out of here as soon as the Sonic Wave was thrown, and went to bottom lane to creep, skip, and push. C9 do pause things up here. Despite the successful team on it, possibly some lag issues, some PC issues, whatever it may be. Brax was DCing a bit earlier, so not exactly sure what it is, but for now, C9 still in a very commanding lead. 20,000 gold plus net worth advantage. Like the call is that they're ready to go. So back into the Roshan pit. Brax will finish this one off. Grab himself an Aegis. Probably put cheese on someone else to see if Necro wants to make some room for it, or maybe SVG will just be the carrier of cheese for now. Looks like that will be the case. Man, brutal. Won't even let your Venom get the regen rune. Ooh, MSS. Almost brings down the Quap. BKB was actually used. Dang. I guess he had the vacuum, so he just wanted to BKB TP, considering how low he got. And now it's time. Do you buy anything here? Sell your bottle, pick up a Hex, or go a different direction? There we go. Here's the Hex. That's what I was expecting. Pick up a Void Stone, run to the side shop, or the secret shop, and get the Hex for the high ground push. Still, NoT.TodaY will have their full force for the defense. Not to mention a freshly purchased AC out of Queen of Pain. 37 will just take out a little sentry here, and Brax will get to chipping on the tower. Last time this did not go well for him. He can't rely on the refraction very much. Very easily burned away. Lotus Orb will come out, help him out a little bit. Does look like it does purge off the liquid fire. Continuous Sleight of Fist spam. It was annoying. Linken's broken. Just the ATOS being used for this, and gotta be careful on the front lines here. Yeah, Schofield. That animation just flying through the air chasing him. It's going to be one of the scariest things to see come, like, flying through the air at you. Does have a decent amount of armor now, with Linken's and Manta. A lot of Agi stats giving him about 14 armor. Again, the Linken's break so easy when you've got this ATOS. Are we feeling like he needs it? And the Blink Hex could be coming anytime soon. Nothing to get rid of the repel, though. Maybe they'll look to time for the repel wearing off. There'll be that small little window where you can hex him up. Brax now. There's a vacuum wall on 4 MSS! He's done it. He's found the opening. The GA comes out, and that's going to be the SVG Poison Nova now doing most of the damage, at least until this GA wears off. Then Braxton looking to go back in Sleight of Fist, doing a lot back at C9. They've actually lost 2 here. They're forced to retreat. Linken's gets broken, but they're on the back foot. Buyback from the Tusk. So far, 2 for 2. Brax still with Aegis. Could go back in here, but taking heavy damage, and the AC giving that extra bit of armor to really help him out. Brax now getting a BKB, the Searing Chains, cool, MSS. Doesn't get the kill onto Ewo, it's Brax getting NoT.ToDAY's Angel. 2 kills go onto him. The next Reaper in 15 seconds. MSS trying to bring down the Quap. Thud, 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 go the Darkseer punches. And they haven't haven't broken this base. They're actually kind of struggling to break the base, if anything. Brax, again, taking constant magic damage. He's just going to burn through the Aegis here. It looks like they will catch up Schofield. This time around, he's got no protection. The Reaper brings him down. Oh dear, 2 minutes without the Ember Spirit. No buyback available because of the Reaper. And with no Ember, there's no real defense. Cheese gets dropped. Who's that going to be to? It's the Darkseid. It's going to pop it immediately, and it looks like they want to get some of the kills onto the defenders here. Make life a little bit easier. Jakiro's Yules will make this a bit trickier as Brax is forced to commit under the tier 4 towers. Still gets the Meld Strike, hit the gem on the ground. Brax claims it, forcing out a Jakiro buyback, and now C9. It looks like they've taken over this dire base. They are the ones in control, they say. As the mid lane of Brax gets taken, they may swing towards top. Now the Reaper up in 5 seconds. They know this Ember is dead for a good minute plus. There is no buyback available, and if they want, top lane will be the next target for them. No creeps in base though. I'm not sure. They should have backdoor protection. They can go for the kills instead though. And I'm sure that won't bother C9 one bit at all. The creeps now pushing down the mid lane. They're going to get another Reaper kill. Jakiro out of the picture. 100 seconds dead. Tusk looking low as well. He goes down to the Darkseid Illusions, and with top lane of Rax possibly likely going down, definitely going down, I feel it's GG. They shouldn't be coming back from the double lane of Rax. They're 2 out farm, and now they're going to be too pressured with 4 Rax down. C9 secure themselves game 1 of this best of 3. Took them some time, but doesn't really feel like NoT.TodaY could get their foot in the door with the farm deficit they were just up against for the whole game. You can kind of see by the graph. Started off like not bad for C9, but once they kind of started winning fights and getting that, well, it was all Brax really. Got like triple kills, was 1v4ing in the bottom lane. Brax was, to me, the big playmaker this game for them. And the rest of the team just knew they could play the farm game. They didn't have to go for kills. They didn't have to even really look for the counter team fights and win those early game team fights. They just played the efficiency game, played the farm more, and come out on top. Well, a bit of a fun, silly little item now. Radiance for the Necrophos. And the bird damage, I feel like it's sort of 100% trolley item. There is some legitimacy to it. For one thing, you get some mischance, which you can apply, so it gives you a little bit of evasion, but the burn damage looking to synergize with Heartstopper and all that. But all in all, not a serious item, not something you'd see if not for the fact they had such a big lead. So a slightly trolly item coming out of Ritsu here on the Necrophos. And we'll see them take this last outer tower in the last tier 2, which isn't really the issue here. The issue is they've already lost 2 lanes of Rax, and we'll see Necro run in now. The Snowball going to force him into their team here. They can definitely bring down the Angel, if not for the 4-star. Nice, a little bit of save there. C9 though should still be fine to push high ground here. The Ember, the one big problem here, if they can get a Reaper out on him, we're looking at all kinds of issues. Benno going to just blink backwards. It looks like C9 may decide to delay this push for now. Brax being healed back up a little bit. Broken one Lincoln, so it's just the Atos again. They'll just keep spamming this Atos out onto the Lincolns, making it hard to defend yourself against the Darkseid. Blink, Vacuum Wall, MSS. He always does it. How does he always do it? 3-man Vacuum Wall. Last time it was the 4-man, but great ulti after great ulti coming out from the MSS Darkseid. Finds a way, 4 dead, and that's GG. Game 1 claimed for C9. Pretty comfortable game, I gotta say, for C9 all in all. So NoT.TodaY, they showed some fight, especially in that early to mid-game stage. They had such a bad laning stage, it looked like it was going to be over at 20 to 30 minutes, but they turned around the bad laning stage. I think GoDz on the Omni Knight especially being kind of key with some of his rotations and just being in the right place, but ultimately they were 2 out-farmed, and C9 just excel in those kind of games where they're just controlling the map, getting a lot more out of everything, and just able to get ahead. Ember can stall and buy time with his high ground defense, but you really need that secondary core as well. The Queen of Pain I don't feel like had a very big impact this game. Partially, I think, because of the item build. This Lincoln's BKB into AC, just too defensive, too passive, and they needed something with a bit more firepower, a bit more pizzazz. But that's it. Game 1 goes the way of Cloud9. We'll take a break, guys. We'll come back with game number 2. You're watching the Summit for Americas, and I'm GoDz from BTS, and I'll be bringing you guys game 2 shortly.